Hello, Academy. It's Dr. Holt again. And so we're going to play around with OpenShot and do a handful of things here. So we're going to play around with adding sound, adding images, and adding text. Okay, so after this, you should theoretically be able to do whatever you would like to do. So let's start off with our first one. I've got a public domain Charlie Chaplin roll dance here. So this is public domain stuff. So you got to be careful about when you're using images or recordings or music, that you got to make sure that you have the rights to them or access to them. That's what the credits are for. You can give credit to all that. But we're just going to be using an example here. So this is a video. So if I played along there, it's got some music behind it. Woohoo. And so the first thing I want to show you about this is, like, I don't necessarily want the Charlie Chaplin roll dance, as lovely as it is, but I do want the music from it. So one of the things we can do in this is that we can split the music up. So now I could take this out right there. Now, so there's the music. So we could take the audio completely off of our video. So our video and audio are separate. You've got to be careful about this. You want to make sure that you line up. If you've got people speaking, you want to make sure that your audio lines up with your speaking there, but with the mouths moving and that sort of thing. So we've got it lined back up here, and so there they are. And we can shift those little critters around. So we're going to play around with that music, and I'm going to remove that clip from there. So see, I still have the sound, and I've got music, so I can fade in our music to whatever example we would like. We can do any number of things here. So I'm just going to bring in these audio clips that we played earlier. So let me see. I've got here's a longer clip. This was from the sound booth. So I'm going to add the sound booth over here. And so if you listen, so there I am. I've got the music playing in the background. So what you want to try to do is you want to set your volume. So I'm going to, the entire clip, and I'm going to drop it down to quiet. So see, I've quietened it up a little bit there so that my voice. It's not a basketball game there, so you can't really even hear, but you've got the music in the background. So what are some other things we can do with audio that we've got here? So I've got a older. Here's a video of me that I did earlier. We can put in there. It's not very long, but it'll be long enough for me to put. It'll be kind of complicated because I'm talking into it, moving around. So I'm going to separate the audio from here. So there's the audio from this, and I'm going to get rid of that audio. So now I've got the image. So there I am playing along, using my voice from a different channel, using the music from another channel. So how about that for fun stuff? So what are some other fun things that we can do here? Here's a photo of my dad, just for fun. So I can put a photo of my dad in here, and it stacks from the bottom to the top. So if I want to, so I can decide exactly where it wants to go. So if I'm on the front side of the image, so at the start of when the image comes in, and so I can say how long I want the image. It's going to pop right in here in the middle. And I can move this over here so that you can't see me. So there I am talking, and we're going to start this image. It's going to pop up, and then we're going to get our music. So there I am talking. I click off it so you can see it running smooth. And then talking. And look, there's an image. I moved it right over there. And if I want at this point of the image, I can just do something silly. So I'm just going to flip my dad. Let me finally rotate. There's a rotation one there. There it is. Whoa. We're going to turn him upside down because, why not? And so I'm going to come back to the beginning, and there we are. You've got my audio. There, I've just switched the video upside down. So how about that? And if it's not highlighted, you don't get the controls on it. So I still had it highlighted. So I took the control off, and there it's nice and clean. And I've rotated upside down. So let's move these guys down here, and we're going to show you another trick that's going to give you functionally all the tools that you need, So I'm going to do a CV. I'm doing Control V, copy, paste. so that I've just got these video clips that are going to run around so that we can play other fun stuff on top of it. So it's just me repeating that video over and over again. So here I am stitching video clips together. I can do the photo just by itself. So here's a random screenshot that I've got from another project. So I can squeeze in the project here. So I'm going to select these guys and move them over. And so now my video is going to play here. So I've got Dad spinning around. And now it's going to cut over to a screenshot. But remember, I'm running off my sound from the earlier thing about my sound box. So that ended, and my music is continuing along. And there's my audio. So let's go back around. You're going to get really used to that music, huh? And one last thing we're going to try to show you here without killing too much of your time is we can use a simple program called Paint. And so here's Paint project here. I'm going to add some text, and I'm going to just type it in there. It says, hello. So I'm choose the color, font size, if it's bold, that. And I'm going to type in the word hello. And what I can do here, this is just in the Microsoft Paint sort of thing. So I'm going to go to layers, and I can turn off the background layer. That's what that hatch mark is there. And I'm going to come down here and make it just that size. Click to the whole object. And now I can run I'm just grabbing the side so that I'm only this size here. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to save it as a ping. Call it something that I can use, so I'm saving that as hello. Get rid of that little fun thing. And if I can find it over here, that's the fun part. I can bring that text in. Now, so it has no background on it. So when I do that, look, it pops it in right there on top of my image, or I can move it over here so that it shows up when I get to there. See, look, so there I am, spinning around, move that forward. Hello. And so really just with this sequence of events, and I can move that around. You've got transitions you can use, fading in, fading out. All these little transitions if you want to play around with those. You've got special effects if you want to play around. You can add in emojis, happy face, smiley face, cries, hearts, that sort of fun stuff that come in just like these images. Or you can even animate our text sort of thing. So if I get to the middle, what do I want to do with hello? Let's just make it shrink down. Okay. So it's going to shrink down and stay up there through that other screen. So here we are. So let's play this fun event. So we switch over there and it says hello. Now look, it goes, shrinks down. And we can type all it in. So there's my audio voice here. And then it switches over to that part right there. So the other thing you can do is about not only can you add tracks, so you can rename these. So you keep track of it. So all of your text that's going to pop up just stays in one track. Then I got photos and I've got videos, and I can do music track, and I can use my audio track, or you can keep adding that and have multiple audio tracks and they can overlay each other, all that fun sort of stuff. So with really just this little short little thing right there, you play around with some of the transitions, you add text. If you add text, audio, and you get a couple images in there, you're making a movie. And so that's what we're going to make with this documentary. We're going to build our ideas together and use all these fun images. Just remember, give credit to people that give you stuff. So that's why we, whoever helped you, wherever the photos came from, we want to cite all of our sources, we like to say in academia. And yeah, you guys should be ready to roll there. So we're not ready to roll yet because I forgot to show you how to save this thing. So I've got my whole video put out there. We're going to go ahead and shorten it just a little bit here. And then I'm going to show you how we attach the remaining video to this. So we're going to export this video here, and I'm going to browse it and put it in a place that I can find it. I'm selecting my folder, and I'm going to just name it. So OpenShot. We'll call this OpenShot 2, and we're going to export our video, and it's going to run the processing there, and it's going to compress all of it together. So all of our different layers are going to be placed in order, and we're just going to have one MP4 video ready to roll. But if I want to add to it, what I can do is I'm going to now add this recording to it. So that is done. And then we're going to start a new project, and I'm going to stitch this image to the backside, just exactly the way that I'd bring in this video. And so I would bring it in, and I would add the appendix, adding this part of the video to the one that I just made, and then I would export for the final version for that. Okay? So that is how we do all of it, including adding to our video and improving it, if you will.